No.
More than just the headlines. WFLA. The following is a paid program. The views expressed are those of the host and callers and not those of News Radio 102.5, its management, or advertisers.
Welcome to You Have Power Behind the Law with attorney Justin Clark. You Have Power is your opportunity to get answers to your legal questions. To be a part of today's program, call 407-916-674-1025 or toll free at 855-545-1025. The lines are now open. But now, here's your host, Orlando's drive time attorney, Justin Clark.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Friday night. Hope you're getting home safely. I know the traffic is terrible. Look, take it easy. It's Friday. You'll get home fine, and I'm going to get you home. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, any sort of legal issue whatsoever, the number is 321-282-1055. You know the website. It's www.youhavepower.com. That is youhavepower.com. Or follow me on Twitter at ATTY Justin Clark. It's funny I say Twitter, Tom Benson, by the way, because, dude, so you know I've been doing Twitter a little bit.
Absolutely.
But I just started doing Facebook as well.
Ooh.
Except I don't know how to tell you to find me on Facebook yet. I don't even know. I don't know. Pilar, please call in or something and let us know how to do it because I don't know how. But I've literally been doing it myself.
Yeah.
And it's interesting I'm talking about it because in the second half hour, we're going to talk about business formation.
Great.
So if you're in the market to start your own business, I'm going to tell you what to do, what not to do. But we're also going to talk about marketing that business via social media, via how to set up the website. We're going to talk about all of that here in a few minutes, right here on Behind the Law. As always, Tom Benson, thanks for being here, my friend. How are you?
Good to be here. It's another week. How quickly these weeks roll by, huh?
I am running out of the studio right after this, going to the beach, spending the entire weekend over there. Hope it's a great weather weekend.
Well,
have you heard any reviews on the weather for the weekend yet?
Just a 50% chance, which means 50% it won't happen, you know? So
that's the whole glass half full or empty argument.
Sure.
Now, of course, I would look at it like it's going to rain. All right? So how's your week been? Have you been subbing in the morning show or this week? Or no?
Just a couple days, yeah. Yeah.
So if you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Benson is also, first of all, he's a radio professional. You know that. But many times he has to do the morning show here. You know Bud Hettinger.
Sure.
The morning guy.
Yeah.
But when you do the show, what time do you get up in the morning?
I get up about 3.
3 a.m.
Usually here about 4. Yeah.
And then do you go home during the day and take a nap? I mean, what do you do?
You bet.
Right. I mean, it is 6 o'clock in the evening right now, meaning you would have been up since 3 a.m. Do you get a nap?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
How long is this nap?
Anywhere depends on how much is going on around the house. Usually half an hour to an hour and a half. That's not bad.
Do you think that just saying the word nap takes your manlyhood away?
No.
Look, let me tell you something. I like naps. I do.
Yeah.
But when I say I took a nap, it's almost like telling your friend you took a bath.
You call it.
It sort of takes your manlyhood away a little bit.
You call it a power nap.
A power nap?
Yes.
Oh, that makes it sound manly?
Yes.
I mean, I do like naps, but it makes me feel like kind of a loser if I say I took a nap.
Not at all.
Not you?
No, not at all.
But at least you can say, I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I have to take a nap, right?
Yeah.
But if I woke up at the normal time, like 7, 8 o'clock, and I said I took a nap, people would be like, what are you, a loser?
I know people who take a 20-minute power nap at lunchtime.
Yeah, they're called Colombians. It's called a siesta. There's a word for that, Tom.
Okay.
If you say siesta, you don't sound like a loser because that's just what you do in your culture. But I'm American.
Sure.
And I can barely pronounce siesta. So if I say nap, you guys think I'm not motivated. So a lot to talk about tonight.
Good.
And again, 321-282-1055. We're talking about your IRS problems. We're talking about forming that business, that LLC formation. Do I elect Subchapter S? How does that work? Can I do it myself? Do I need a law firm? We're going to talk about all that. And then we're going to talk about once you do set up that business, what is the most efficient, effective, inexpensive way to advertise that business? And I think social media is going to play a large role in what we talk about in the second half hour. But without further ado, I'd like to welcome someone to the show. He's never been on the show before, but he works at my law firm, a fantastic person to be around every day. And that guy is Steve Richardson. Steve, welcome to the show, buddy. How are you?
Welcome. I'm doing great. Glad to be here.
So you are the accountant, IRS specialist for sure at the law firm. And I have a lot of questions. Number one, explain the difference in payment plan versus offer and compromise. Because I see those words thrown all the time. Payment plan, offer, and compromise. I mean, what is the difference?
Yeah, well, the difference is in a payment plan, you can have an installment agreement. Whereas in an offer and compromise is different where you pay it all at once. Where you come to a compromise. If you owe a whole lot of taxes, you can get a whole lot of reduction by doing offering compromise. Whereas again, an installment agreement, you pay a little more because you're making an installment agreement. Of course, they're going to charge you, put on asset penalties, and still charge you some penalties without doing an abatement. But you, of course, get some of those removed. But that's the difference.
I think we're one of the only law firms in town that handles your IRS problems, meaning you're getting that wide envelope, with the green little sticky thing on top that says certified, You know that letter?
The one that keeps you...
If you've gotten one, you know what I'm talking about.
The one that keeps you awake at night.
It keeps you up all night.
Yes.
It keeps you rolling around, hitting DVR, looking at the Kardashian show over and over, being miserable, And then you have to take a nap later because you've been rolling around worried about the IRS issues.
That is terrible.
But we're one of the only firms who handle your IRS problems. But alongside dealing with the already problematic issues that you have with the IRS, we also... we'll do the tax returns for you. We will prepare the tax returns. So let's say you come to me all stressed out because you're driving down the interstate one day and all of a sudden you see the CPA firm on the side of the road, and now you can't even concentrate on your day because now you're stressed out because you have unfiled returns.
Sure.
I mean, there's a point that this could become criminal, right? I mean, it doesn't happen very often, but this is something that stresses you out. Not only can they come take your money, come take your assets, I mean, at some point it could be a criminal issue as well. So it keeps you up at night. It keeps you stressed out. And that's why I want you to call our law firm to handle not only your existing IRS problems, but even if you have unfiled returns, we can handle those unfiled returns alongside you. Why not have a law firm do it? We're lawyers. I mean, that's what we do at the firm. We're lawyers. So if they were to come after you and you have to go to court to deal with it, we're already retained.
Sure.
Like we are your law firm.
And you see it every day versus the person who just gets it once in a lifetime, maybe.
From beginning to end, we're going to be there with you, Tom. And you know how I built this firm. I have built this firm based on two philosophies. Number one, I don't like to hire lawyers either. I don't like it because I don't know how much it's going to cost me.
Mm-hmm.
If I go hire this lawyer, I know for a fact that every time I call him or every time I email her, the clock is ticking. Right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And it makes it very scary because you already are having financial issues. The IRS is coming after you. You're afraid they're going to come take your car.
Mm-hmm.
Yet now I don't know how much this law firm is going to bill me. That's why. Number two, we do flat fees.
That's great.
We do low flat fees that you can pay over time at my firm. And what does that mean? It means you know exactly what it's going to cost to have us represent you from day one until the end. So from beginning until conclusion of your case, one flat fee. And it's oftentimes a fee that you can pay over time. So let's say you come in and it's going to cost you $2,000 or whatever to have our law firm represent you. You don't have to stroke a check for $2,000 right there. You can pay it over time, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand the comfortability level as opposed to knowing every time you call me, I'm going to start that clock? There's no clock.
You construct the monthly payments on a need to pay, ability to pay, rather?
Pay it over time.
Good.
You pay it over time if you need to. One low fee that you pay over time to handle all of your IRS issues. Now, all right, Steve, we're talking about payment plan versus offer and compromise. And I don't mean to speak for you, but I imagine the offer and compromise is really just sort of a fancy term for settlement. Is it not?
Yes, of course.
And so what is the IRS looking for when you, let's say you owe them $80,000, okay? You owe them $70,000, they're sending letters, maybe even have someone knock on your door. And I say, well, I want to try to do a settlement, an offer and compromise. What is the IRS looking for from me as the owing taxpayer before they make the decision whether they want to settle or not settle?
Well, the first thing they're going to look at is your income versus your expenses that you're doing, and maybe the reason why that you haven't paid your taxes or why you're behind in taxes. Maybe you had a bad tax advisor in the past, or maybe just didn't over time, didn't get a chance to pay it. But what they're looking for actually in an offer and compromise, number one, they're going to, again, look for your expenses versus what your income is. And then if you're already making payments in time, they're going to try to get the most out of you they can. That's why it's good that you need to hire a professional to negotiate with you at the lowest prices possible. Okay, that what I'm saying is we can make sure that you get the best, because I would fight for you, or we, the law firm, will fight for you in a way that you won't be able to fight on your own by presenting what you have made or what you're making right now. There's been many times, even with the offering compromise, there many times is unofficial but collectible where you don't have to pay any taxes at all.
How long are the lines? We're in Maitland, Florida right now, Tom. We're at the iHeart compound here in Maitland. My office right across the street. Steve and I's office right across the street. Happens to be the IRS building is about, I don't know, a stone's throw away from here.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to go sit in line right now to go try to talk to someone there, how long would I be waiting in line right now? Have you heard any rumors about this?
No.
Okay. My understanding is you've got to wait for hours. So if you want to deal with your IRS issue yourself and you want to go down to the building in Maitland, I mean, you could be waiting for hours. And then let me tell you something, guys. When 4 o'clock rolls around, they don't care what number you are. I mean, this is not Publix, getting your turkey, ladies and gentlemen.
Sure.
They're not going to wait around for you. They're not trying to. Customer service is not exactly high priority. So you can be waiting in line for hours, and they want to close, they close.
And
it doesn't matter.
They say, come back tomorrow.
Come back tomorrow. But even that, let's say, you know what, I'm not going to go there personally. I'm going to call them. How long is the queue when you call the IRS? If you're just a regular taxpayer, it can take a long time.
Over 4 hours at times.
Over
long
4 hours.
And to reflect back on if you even do wait in line, once you do get seen there, most of the time I turn your way and say, oh, did you have an appointment? After you waited over 2 or 3 hours.
Now, when someone hires our firm, Steve, do they ever have to talk to the IRS again?
No.
Who's going to talk to the IRS for them?
The firm will take care of everything for you.
I was thinking about this the other day, Tom. All right. As a guy who, before I did this kind of work, got the nasty letter with the green sticky thing on top that said certified, that white envelope, the scary one, saying we're going to come take your stuff. And you know that they can come take your stuff.
Absolutely.
It's the biggest, most powerful collection agency in the world.
Mm-hmm.
They can come take it. They don't have to sue you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get those letters saying, oh, you've been sued. You have 20 days. It's not like that, okay? But I was also thinking about it like this. It sounds really, really, really scary. But the IRS problems that you have only get really scary if you don't do anything about it.
I bet.
If you do something about them, and you have people on your team like us, if you do something about it, it's actually not that scary. Don't you find that the IRS, they want to make money, so they're willing to work with us, right?
Right.
So,
Correct.
I mean, how does the negotiation normally go when you're talking to an IRS agent? I mean, they're normally somewhat friendly. We keep it professional. It's almost like LeBron James with the Cleveland Cavs, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's his team.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And as U.S. citizens, the government is our team.
That's right.
So it shouldn't really be a fight. But LeBron needs an agent.
That's right.
He needs an agent to be the middleman, to be the bad guy. Let us be the bad. You're the good guy. You're the taxpayer who you got a little bit behind. But you want to pay the government so we can provide roads and schools and all that sort of thing. You want to pay.
And LeBron wants to concentrate on his game.
And LeBron wants to play for the Cavs.
Yeah.
But we're going to be the middleman. All right? We're going to be your agent in dealing with the IRS. We're going to go say, look, John Smith wants to pay his taxes. He doesn't want to continue to be behind. But we're going to be the bad guy, too, in that, look, he owes $30,000, but he's only making $10,000 a year. He's uncollectible. Or he can give you only $5,000. Let us be the bad guy in dealing with the IRS. Let us be the ones waiting on hold, waiting in that line while you go make money. You go live your life. But I need you to promise me one thing, because I'm not going to represent you unless you promise me that you're not going to stay up all night rolling your head around, flipping the pillow over and over, going on DVR, watching some terrible shows because you're worried about it. So if you hire us, I want you to stop worrying. Because we're going to make it easy. We're going to get this biggest financial hurdle out of the way for you. Now, Steve, let me ask you a question. Payment plans, all right? So I hear payment plans all the time. So let's say I'm filing my taxes right now for 2015, and I'm going to owe $15,000, all right? I don't have $15,000 to stroke a check right now to pay the government $15,000. How does this payment plan thing work?
Well, the payment plan work as a fresh start. The IRS now are offering a fresh start. So if you owe $15,000, what we would do for you is talk and negotiate with the IRS to see what you can afford to be able to make that payment plan and make sure that you're not access to penalties and all those other charges that they will put on you without being represented. And also, even with removing liens off your property or house, if you're in a state of mind where you have a lien put on, don't fret, because we still can help with that as well, because there's negotiations that I've been putting in with the IRS for a long time now that removes liens so you can feel comfortable and still live a normal life without worrying about all your assets or all your money, monthly bills being paid out to the IRS. So we definitely can make an agreement that'll work for you and what you can afford. Don't let them put what they can afford, what they want you to pay, but we'll make sure that you'll be able to do what you can afford.
You were talking with me, Justin Clark, here at 321-282-1055. We're talking about your IRS problems. If you have any, please stay tuned. And again, if you have questions, 321-282-1055. The website, www.youhavepower.com. That is youhavepower.com. Follow me on Twitter at ATTY. Justin Clark, and I'm here with Tom Benson as always.
Maybe Steve has an answer to my question here.
Tom?
Say you used to have a six-figure income and you ran up a big IRS bill, but now you're working two part-time jobs, barely pulling in $25,000 or $30,000. Is there any forgiveness involved, or they just extend the payments over years and years and years?
Well, there will be forgiveness involved. That's what we'll fight for, to be able to forgive that. There, know that what you made in the past is totally different from what you're making right now as working part-time. So we can remove some of the penalties, and we also can negotiate that they remove some of the tax fees itself. And it also depends on how long it was that you paid taxes, because some would be uncollectible, and it just depends on how old the tax debt is.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they definitely can work with you, and they definitely can remove those penalties and fees, or even some of the taxes. It depends on how much you made and how much you're making now. And then, of course, if your bills and expenses still the same, but you're having less income, they'll definitely work with you on that.
And you do all the negotiating on that?
Yes, you don't negotiate with them at all. I would do all the negotiating. You just negotiate and talk with me and tell me what's going on, then I'll relay everything to them.
Got it.
All right, so let's say that I am getting the letters, all right, the white envelope with the green sticky thing on top that says certified mail, and I'm nervous, but they keep sending the letter, nothing's happening. So I'm just going to bury my head in the sand and pretend like this is not happening, okay? Because, look, let's be honest. It takes the IRS a little while to actually come and really take your stuff. But let's just say I keep ignoring. At some point, they're going to catch up with me, right? It might take 2 years. It might take 3 years. It might take 4 years. But at some point, they're going to catch up with me. And they have incredible power via levy and garnishment. Can you please, Steve, explain to me what a levy is and what a garnishment is and what their rights are?
Well, just like what you're saying, there's been people that have been getting letters and stating and ignoring them without doing anything about them. And a lot of clients have came that all of a sudden the IRS will freeze their bank account. Levy, what they'll do is levy or put a lien on your house, your bank accounts, all your assets, your boat, cars, whatever you owe. They will put a levy on those kind of things.
Is that the IRS calling?
Yes, that's them now.
Go ahead.
But yes. So, but so the best thing to do not ignore it. Definitely give us a call. At again 321-282-1055, and let attorneys Justin Clark and Associates handle your tax needs.
Right. I appreciate it. 321-282-1055 for any sort of IRS issue that you have. As always, Tom Benson's a free consultation, and as always, a one flat fee that you can pay over time, meaning it's not an hourly charge. We're not going to start a clock every time you call me. It's one flat fee payable over time from beginning to end. And let's get some nights of sleep now where you don't have to take naps or siestas with Tom Benson, please. The last thing I want you to do is be up all night long worrying about this IRS stuff, which really can go away. Okay?
And you'll meet with clients on Saturday.
We do Saturday appointments every single Saturday. I want you to go to work and not have to worry about missing work to come meet me for a free consultation. We will meet you on Saturdays anytime. So any IRS issue that you have, please do call me. Happy Friday night, 321-282-10. You know what I'm going to do, Tom?
What's that?
In honor of Steve Richardson joining us on this beautiful Friday, even though it's trafficy, I'm going to give 25% off. All right? So I'm going to do a 25% discount on any IRS case. But you got to call me at 321-282-1055 by Sunday midnight. Okay? I can't do this forever.
Yeah.
If you call me by Sunday midnight, say you heard it right here on News Radio 102.5 Behind the Law with Justin Clark, we're going to do 25% off our already low flat legal fees. So you
That's
got to
great.
call us 321-282-1055. Go to the website, www.youhavepower.com. That is youhavepower.com. You can chat with us live right there or call us directly from that website or send us a contact form and say you heard it right here on News Radio 102.5, and I will give you a 25% discount. But you got to call now through Sunday. You don't have to come see me by then, but you need to reach out between now and Sunday midnight, and we'll do 25% off any IRS issue that you have. Our already low flat fees. And so here's what you're going to say, Tom, in your head. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, he's going to jack the price up and then just reduce it 25%. That is not true. I'm going to give you the regular price, but I'm going to go times 0.25, and then I'm going to subtract. I'm not good at math. So whatever the price is, I'm going to go times 0.25, and then I'm going to carry that number over, and I'm going to put the regular price. I'm going to minus it, and I'll have to do this all on a calculator because I'm not good at math. Is there an easier way to do it, or you just have to go times 0.25?
It sounds about right.
Or maybe you could go times 0.75, and then that would avoid having to do the subtraction. Think about that.
Now, if somebody calls on Sunday, they're going to get an answering machine. So all they have to do is leave their name and a contact number, and that qualifies them for the discount?
You got that right. 25% off.
Great.
At 321-282-1055 to handle your IRS issues. Let's get it over with now so you can have a stress-free weekend, enjoy the family on a beautiful Central Florida weekend. It hasn't been quite as hot the last couple of days, Tom. Am I onto something here?
Well, the mornings have been nice. I think it was Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, Tuesday and Wednesday morning were very nice. Temperatures in the mid-60s, but those days are gone. I think this weekend it's just going to be low mid-70s. That's summertime.
So we were talking really about your personal IRS problems, but I would say 50 to 60% of what we deal with at the office is corporate tax issues, meaning you own a business and your business has tax problems, meaning maybe you didn't send in the payroll taxes. That's a big no-no, by the way.
Yeah.
Or maybe your corporation just owes taxes. But before you can have a tax issue with your corporation, you have to set up that corporation. And Steve, since I have you here, I want to go through a few different things with you. Setting up an LLC is really not that difficult of a thing. What does it normally cost? I mean, if you were to go do it yourself, what does it cost to set up a corporation normally?
Well, it depends on what state you're in. The state fees are different for each state to set up an LLC. Of course, in the state of Florida, this beautiful Sunshine State, the register name you would do is $40, and then probably to everything should be probably just $300 if you're just trying to do it yourself.
All right. So let's say you go. If you're not driving right now, or when you get home, just go check it out. Go to sunbiz.org. Is it org?
Yes.
Go to sunbiz.org.
Sunbiz.com.
Sunbiz.com. And just go navigate through it. And you'll see, you can really go set up your business by yourself. It's not that difficult to do. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't necessarily recommend doing it because there are certain protections and things that you need to make sure that you do properly. For instance, when you set up an LLC, that's easy enough. But now keep in mind, you need to file taxes at the end of the year or at least by September for that LLC. But then your accountant or your CPA is going to say, oh, was that a Subchapter S? What is this Subchapter S thing, Steve? Can you please help me understand?
Yes, what it is that you definitely want to know, you want to hire somebody professional to do it, that's know what they're doing, because there are different tax phrases and tax that go on with different LLCs or corporations or even nonprofit. So, but an S Corp, what he was referring to, is different from a C Corp. S Corp, which you can set up a corporation as an S Corp, or you can set it up as an N Corp, or you can set it up as an LLC. The best way to set it up is an LLC, but then you can file, if you're already LLC, you can file to be taxed as an S Corp. Okay, being filed as an S Corp, that way you bypass personal taxes, sole proprietorship, what comes with LLC, or if you're just filing a 1065 partnership, or if you're filing a 1120 corporation, you are going to pay corporation fees, plus you'll be self-taxed. Now, when you do it as an S Corp, you're not going to be filed as a self-tax no more. You'll be filed as a corp, but then you'll also have what they call as a K-1 at the end of the year that goes to your personal taxes. That way you don't pay double taxes as you will by just setting up as a regular LLC. So there is entities in it. And you also need a registered agent, first of all, to set up an LLC. So.
All right, we're going to get into a lot more detail. If you're looking to set up a business, I'm going to tell you exactly the right and wrong ways to set up that business as an LLC, a corporation. And we're going to talk about marketing. I'm going to tell you how to set up the website, how to set up the social media. And I'm going to be right back on the other side. Justin Clark, 321-282-1055, right here on News Radio 102.5.
The latest news and a place to talk about it. News Radio 102.5 WFLA.
In the WFLA News Center, I'm Dana Mills, News Radio 102.5 WFLA. News brought to you by Trustco Bank, Florida's hometown bank. The annual St. Pete Pride Festival and Parade is being held this weekend. Executive Director Eric Skane says they are partnering with Orlando Pride officials to organize a tribute to the 49 people killed in the terrorist attack at Pulse nightclub.
We're working with Come Out with Pride Orlando, who's the organizer of the Orlando Pride, and there will be a lead-off. They'll be kicking off the parade and holding signs with each of the names of the victims, and there will be a 10-second moment of silence following that for every person injured or killed in the shooting.
Skane says there will be extra security. 250,000 people are expected to attend. 7 new Zika cases reported today, including 1 in Seminole and 1 in Polk counties. Governor Scott is allocating $26.2 million from the state's General Revenue Fund for mosquito control and to purchase Zika prevention kits. All day, every day, news, weather, and traffic on News Radio 102.5 WFLA. I'm Dana Mills.
Well, things are finally easing up on the interstates. We are still seeing some slow pockets eastbound on I-4 between State Roads 535 and 536 near the attractions, as well as between John Young Parkway and the 408. If you're heading out westbound, do watch for a slow ride between Colonial Drive and the 408, as well as between the Beach Line and State Road 535. Westbound travel on the Beach Line slow as well between I-Drive and I-4. If you see traffic problems, call the Safe Touch Security tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Paige Carrera.
This report brought to you by Trustco Bank. Trustco Bank has the Hometown Checking free mobile app. No monthly fees and free use of over 55,000 ATMs worldwide. Are you happy with your bank? Go to TrustcoBank.com for details. Your hometown bank is Trustco. Member FDIC.
Here's your News Radio 102.5 exclusive AccuWeather forecast. For the rest of your Friday, clear to partly cloudy skies, low 73 to 77. Saturday, partly sunny with a spotty thunderstorm, high 91 to 95. Sunday, sunshine with a shower or thunderstorm, high 89 to 93. News, weather, and traffic every 10 minutes in the morning. I'm Andy Robb, News Radio 102.5. WFLA.
This report is brought to you by OUC, the reliable one.
OUC, the reliable one, is bringing back the summer of 78, as in 78 degrees on your thermostat. So set your thermostat to 78 degrees, the efficiency sweet spot for your air conditioner. For more hot tips on how to stay cool, visit OUC.com/78.
This is a Bloomberg Market Minute. If Lexington and Concord was the shot heard round the world, the Brexit vote may have been its financial sequel. The Dow fell 611 points, the Nasdaq 202, the S&P 76. Losses of 3 1/3 to more than 4%, enough to wipe out stock market gains for the year. And while Hugh Johnson of Hugh Johnson Advisors says, yes, we will be hit by the consequences.
It's not good for the U.S. because it's an important export destination for U.S. companies, number one, and also they're an important buyer of our stocks and bonds, and so that's also going to hurt.
He says it is not a tidal wave coming across the Atlantic. He says the vote will hit growth in Britain, say, by about 0.5% this year. The British pound has dropped in value to a 30-year low, and while that makes Britain less expensive to visit, airline shares were hit hard by the vote as well. Shares of American, hardest hit of the U.S. carriers, they fell almost 11% on the company's partnership with British Airways. I'm Joan Doniger, Bloomberg Radio.
Does your business rely on the actions and transactions of the real estate industry? From Central Florida's commercial real estate to movements among developers and investors, GrowthSpotter delivers you the news and information you need to stay competitive. Be the first to know with unlimited digital access to GrowthSpotter.com. Plus, its early morning emails delivered to your inbox allow you to be the first to act and the first to prosper. Go to GrowthSpotter.com/sign up.
Life can be unpredictable. That's why you should take control of your family's future now with an estate plan bundle from LegalZoom. Not sure whether you need a last will or a living trust? LegalZoom's network of independent attorneys in 48 states can help you decide which one's right for you without billing by the hour, since LegalZoom isn't a law firm. Plus, updating your estate plan as your family and assets grow couldn't be easier. Enjoy your life. Use LegalZoom for the legal stuff. LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
Take a test mow today on the John Deere Z535M Z-Track zero-turn mower with the re-engineered Excel Deep Mower Deck to mow faster, better. Because it's not how fast you mow, it's how well you mow fast. Visit your local John Deere dealer today and see why nothing runs like a deer.
AgPro Companies is your local John Deere dealer. For details on all 35 of our locations, visit agprocompanies.com or visit myjohndeeredealer.com.
WFLA is available everywhere you want to listen on our free iHeartRadio app. Download it now.
You're listening to You Have Power Behind the Law with attorney Justin Clark. For personalized help with your legal issues, visit youhavepower.com or call 321-282-1055. Now, back in studio with more expert legal advice, here's Justin Clark.
Welcome back to the show, and happy Friday night. Hope you're getting home safely and have a fantastic weekend planned ahead. My name is Justin Clark. 321-282-1055. For any legal question that you have, feel free to call us at that number, 321-282-1055. The website, as always, you know it, it's www.youhavepower.com. That is youhavepower.com. I've been talking about your IRS issues, whether it's personal, corporate, and for whatever reason, I was in a good mood, and I said 25% off. So if you call between now and Sunday midnight, whether you go to the website or give us a call, just say you heard it right here on News Radio 102.5. We're doing 25% off our already low legal fees, but you must call or email or text or follow me on Twitter at ATTY Justin Clark by Sunday midnight. I cannot do this forever, Tom Benson. I just can't.
Of course not.
I mean, I'm going to lose money. I can't do it. But because I'm in a good mood, because it's Friday night, we're going to do 25% off at 321-282-1055, www.youhavepower.com. We're talking about LLC formation before the break, Tom Benson. And I mean, really, it's quite simple. An LLC is its own entity, meaning it protects you. So let's say you start Tom Benson Studios, okay, and you're going to do voiceover work.
Sure.
And you're doing it just under Tom Benson, whatever. You don't set anything up. Now, if someone sues you, they're suing you. They could take away Tom Benson's car or Tom Benson's bank account. But if you set up Tom Benson Studio LLC, that's its own thing, okay? So if Tom Benson LLC does something wrong, the person can only sue Tom Benson LLC.
So it stays on the business side of things, not the personal side.
So it's a separation. So the LLC is its own living, breathing thing. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
I'm trying to break it down and make it really simple.
Yeah.
But it's its own thing. So no one can sue Tom Benson and have your wife basically punch you in the face for losing the family car because you did something wrong with Tom Benson Studios.
Yeah.
They can only sue Tom Benson Studios.
Got it.
It's a protection thing. But the thing, Steve, that still confuses me is this. Steve Richardson, by the way, from the law firm. The thing that confuses me is at the end of the year, my accountant says, "Oh, did you elect Subchapter S?" Can you please help me understand what elect Subchapter S really means?
Elect Subchapter S, what that means is, did you elect to be, your LLC to be under Subchapter S, which is a form that you have to fill out to be elected to be taxed as a S corporation.
But why would I want to do that? What benefit to me is there to elect Subchapter S?
The benefit to you is it saves you on paying double in taxes. For one, you will be not paying self-employment tax, which you would pay with. What you would pay with an actual LLC or a sole proprietorship, because you're just an LLC. You're not incorporated. Incorporated, of course, you would pay corporation tax or S corp tax. But since you didn't file to be a corporation or a S corp, you filed as an LLC. You must now apply to be taxed as a S corporation or a corporation, either one you want to do.
So the vast majority of people who start LLCs are small businesses. I mean, we're not all AT&T, Tom Benson. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
I mean, we're the normal 5 to 10 employee type of small business.
Yep.
Typically, Steve, if you're talking to a business owner who knows they're going to start something new, they're going to have 2-3 employees, what would you say is normally the best advice? What is normally the best way to start? As Subchapter S, something else, LLC? what's normal for the regular small business guy out there listening who's thinking about starting his business? What is the best way to go?
The best way to go is to file as an LLC, but you want to be taxed as an S Corp right away. You don't want to wait till the end of the year. You want to be able to be guided knowing how to file for an S Corporation. And also, because you have a separate EIN number. That is what you would be taxed on. You'd be taxed on your EIN number. So as you're applying for LLC, it's not just applying as simple as that. You must apply for EIN number to go along with that LLC and a DUNS number if you want it correctly right. It depends on how far you want to grow. But you want to establish the roots at the beginning if you're thinking about being big, because then you're getting into whether you want to share the company, you want to have shareholders, or if you want to get government grants, or if you want to get loans, or even if you want to do contract with the government, you have to be labeled a certain. You have to have a certain entity. You have to be established a certain way.
First of all, obviously, we'd be happy to set this up for you. It's very inexpensive. Give us a call at the firm, 321-282-1055. But if you're going to do it yourself, you go to sunbiz.com, all right? Go to sunbiz.com, and you can set up your LLC fairly simply. But keep in mind, there are certain things business-wise you really need to do. There are certain forms that you need to file to really protect yourself. So if someone was really going to sue you and try to sue your business and then try to pierce the corporate veil, as they say, meaning they can go after your personal assets, you want to make sure you've done everything the right way. So that's why I would recommend calling us and let us guide you through it. But if you're going to do it yourself, go to sunbiz.com and navigate yourself through that website, and you'll learn a lot yourself that way. But
I'm going to put a little note on that, too, as well. Earlier, Justin was talking about separating the LLC with your personal, which is great, and it is definitely correct. They can't go after you if you separated it, but you have to remember, if you have a bank account, one little simple thing, if you chose to take that bank account and pay your personal bills, or vice versa, you pay your personal bill with your business bank account, then you done linked it together, then they still can go after you.
It's called piercing the corporate veil, and he's right. Exactly, and it seems like a lot of business owners, they're paying their McDonald's tab out of the corporate account, because money's tight. And I deal with business owners every single day. And the vast majority of us, we don't do. Let's just say I can't say it on the radio. Sometimes I forget when we're talking. We're on the air here, but sure. A lot of business owners don't do it the right way. So if you need help, we're here to guide you through it. At 321-282-1055. More information about this at www.youhavepower.com. That is youhavepower.com. Follow me on Twitter at ATTY Justin Clark, or Facebook at I don't know what.
And if somebody wanted to get to Steve, they go through the same numbers?
Absolutely, you got it. Yeah, Steve and I work together every single day. Love having him as part of the team. So now here's what we've done. We've started our business, right? Yes. We've done it the right way. We started this LLC. We elected Subchapter S. We have the EIN number. Now I'm ready to do some business.
We need customers.
I got to get customers. I have to make money somehow, Tom. What am I going to do? And I'd like to bring in my good friend, the manager over at I Know We Marketing, a great sponsor of this show, Behind the Law with Justin Clark. That is I Know We Marketing. You guys do marketing, you do funding, and you do insurance for small business owners. www.iknowwe.com. 855 I Know We. That is Jake Adams. Jake, welcome to the program. How are you, my friend?
Good. How are you?
No complaints. I've got a few complaints, but I'm not gonna let you know about them right now. So I started a business, okay? Right. And I've got a little bit of money for advertising, but I don't have a ton. I can't go buy spots on NFL Sunday Night NFL, okay? I don't have that kind of money. But I've got $3 or $4 grand sitting around. I got to do something. I need to do something to get customers in the door. I would say number one thing is website. Talk to me a little bit about website development.
If you're going to approach your generating new business for your company, and you're going to begin that by creating a presence of your company via digitally on the internet, it's very inexpensive to do. You can get hosting packages as low as $3.99 to host your website online, which makes it available for the world to view it. And then when it comes to creating the website and creating your presence and how you want to appear to the public, you can either you have the option to do it yourself, or there are website builders that you can create your own website, or you can hire someone to build the website for you.
All right, let's just be honest. This is my show, and we can be honest on the show. I don't care. All right, so let's be honest. I'm starting a business. I need to do a website. Let's shoot them straight. What does it really cost? I mean, low end to high end, like the Cadillac. What's a normal charge to set up my website, beginning to end? And I'm not saying something crappy. I want something nice. Okay. And I'm going to call you over and over. When you give me the finished product, I'm going to have complaints. I want you to change it again. I mean, I want the real nitty-gritty. What's it going to cost me?
The high-end websites outside of e-commerce, where you're not selling a bunch of products online, it's a service, you're looking at about $3,000.
Total, but that's the Cadillac.
Yes.
All right, what if I want the Pinto?
If you want the Pinto without selling any products, once again, not an e-commerce website, you're looking about $500.
All right, good deal. Now, Tom, let's say that you hear something on the radio or you're driving by somewhere, a business that you're interested in. This is 2016.
Yeah.
Do you go to their website and make sure that they're legit before you do any business with them?
That's where I go first.
You have to have a website. If you're going to start a business, you have to have a website.
Sure.
I mean, what kind of business out there can get away with not having a website these days?
I came across a website a couple weeks ago for a pizza place. They didn't. All they had was like a flash screen, no information at all, not even a phone number. That's not the right way to do it. That's not even a Pinto.
Well, they're obviously buying frozen dough. I mean, seriously, don't you think? I mean, look, I'm telling you, if your website is bad, your product is probably bad, or at least that's the vision you're giving to your potential customers.
Sure, that's the perception.
If I were to go to, let's say, that pizza company's website, and it's that terrible, I'm telling you, I wouldn't eat there.
And
I don't think I would, unless it was just some established, 100-year guy came over from Italy 100 years ago, and the restaurant's been there 80 years, then you don't necessarily have to have a website. But if it's like the local pizza joint, and I go to the website, and it's that bad, Tom, I'm not going to eat there. Because if the website's that bad, I guarantee you the pepperoni's bad as well.
You can go somewhere else where you're going to get all the information you need, plus they deliver.
And even if it's not bad, even if your food is great, you've just done an injustice to your restaurant and to your food, because I'm going to go in thinking it's bad.
Sure.
You eat with your eyes first, Tom Benson, but you also shop with your eyes first as well.
That's
and
right.
your eyes are judging them based on their website. So if you're starting a business, we've got to get the website off the ground right away. That should be number one. Number one marketing thing is we've got to get the website off the ground. And it sounds like the good people with Jake Adams, great sponsor of the show, I Know We Marketing, iknowwe.com. That's 855-I-KNOW-WE. Do a fantastic job with their websites from beginning to end, and they're going to do it right for you.
All right, say we want the deluxe, top of the Cadillac. What's the startup time? How long does it take? 6 weeks, a month, or less?
Usually we like to, it's real difficult just to give you a time because it really depends on what kind of content and what type of business that you have. But let's just take, for example, we're doing a law firm. A law firm website.
You don't have to, just because I'm
okay.
Whatever.
Maybe
fine, that's fine. Do it. Just
maybe
go.
30 days for a consulting firm. Something, that doesn't have a lot of products or not too much information to put out there.
Can I just stop you for 1 sec? I thought he was going to say if I'm doing a law firm because I know they're going to be a nightmare to work with. That's where I thought he was going. That's not where you were headed?
No,
all right, fine.
No, not
all right,
at all.
Let's use law firm then.
Yeah, it's real. It's much easier to do
a radio producer,
a consulting service. Those types of websites can be moved along quite expediently. But if you have, let's say you have a cleaning service and you offer 25 different chemicals, maybe you offer 500 different chemicals. There's more description. There's more images. Something like that would take a little bit longer. Or maybe you want your website to function in a certain way, and you have more functionality than most websites. For example, Publix website, you can shop online.
Oh, yeah.
You can pick out your grocery list online. All those functions are based off of code, and each of those functions in the code, they need to be written, and then they need to be able to work together so you have a fluid experience while you're on the website. And without that, you're going to confuse your customer, your viewer, and they're going to go somewhere else that's much easier for them. So you want to make sure that when you're building your website, you know what you want from your website. Because if you don't, somebody's just going to throw up something. It's going to be some images like that pizza place you saw. If their goal was to attract people to their website, they should have images of their food, present images, and they should have a call to action for you as the viewer to say, all right, let me call them, because their website says call me right now.
Sure.
And it's in bold print, or it's highlighted, or it's dressed up some fancy way to attract you, to make you want to call them.
All right, Jake Adams from I Know We Marketing, 855-I-KNOW-WE, www.iknowwe.com. Jake Adams, be straight up with me. 2 weeks or 2 months? All right, that was the longest answer I've ever heard. Tom asked you, how long is it going to take me to get my website up and running? Let's say I'm a pretty good customer. Get back with you. I give you the photos you need. 2 weeks or 2 months?
2 months.
2 months?
30 days.
All right, 30 days it is.
And how about ongoing maintenance?
Well, just to clarify what Justin's saying, every website takes an average of about 30 days. If you're getting the Cadillac, expect 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what was your question?
Maintenance, hosting.
Maintenance.
Like, where does this...
ongoing maintenance month to month.
Once again, it's a technical question. How many updates are you going to have? But there is maintenance that's needed. And some websites can run by themselves. Mm-hmm. Okay, some websites need new images updated and new information updated monthly. But there's a great tool out there that a lot of you might know about, and if you don't, it's called WordPress. It gives you a dashboard where you can have someone develop your website, and you can maintain it yourself, because there's an easy-to-use interface that you log in, and everything's self-explanatory. So, for example, if you want to update every week a new menu, you can just log in, open up the menu, replace the PDF file, and place it there, or just type in the words, and your new menu will display after you update. So updating websites, it's a wide range and many different ways to do it.
And I Know We Marketing, can you also set up my email addresses for me? You know what I mean, Tom? When you get an email from someone, it's like justinclark@aol.com.
Sure.
You're like, I don't know if I want to do business with them. I mean, if you're going to set up my website, can you do my emails as well? So let's say you're setting up the website, iknowwe.com.
Absolutely.
Okay, but now am I going to get emails like justin@iknowwe.com too?
Yes, you are.
But you're going to handle that for me, correct?
In fact, I Know We Marketing will set up unlimited emails branded to your business. So no longer will you be Joe or Justin at I'm on the radio today or Gmail. It's going to actually have your company name incorporated into the email.
That's good, and I think it very much professionalizes your new business that you're setting up. I mean, my recommendation absolutely is don't send business emails from AOL.com. You've got to have that branded email address that's branded to your website, because now when you send emails, they're going to know where to go for your website, and it just makes you look more professional. But all right, so when it comes to marketing as well, we got the website now. It's going to take 30 days. You promised 30 days. At 855-I-KNOW-WE.com. 30 days for your website. But now I don't have a whole lot of money left over. Okay? I don't have enough money to go advertise on America's Got Talent, Jake. But I know one thing I can do, and that's social media. All right? And social media has been a really bad word to me for a lot of years, Tom, and it still really is in a lot of ways. That being said, I think as a business owner, especially a business owner that's just starting out, maybe you don't have a ton of advertising dollars. You've got to get involved with this social media. Jake, tell me what you can do at I Know We Marketing for me and my new business for social media.
All right. Well, first off, I'll tell you that if you're going to bring us your business, we're going to give you a free social media page on Google+, Facebook, or Twitter. You have your option. And then we'll also explain to you how to set up the other two on your own and how you can monitor and maintain those social media pages. The most important thing for you to do if you're on a low budget is to create your